Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Podcast Beyond. Thank you, everyone. Man, that's really weird when you're not the one doing it. It's me, Greg Miller, acting editor-in-chief of the PlayStation team since Chris Roper has gone and had a baby. Everyone would like to know it's Zoe Roper.
Zoe Roper.
So even though he's not here, we move on as everything in the IGN world. Next to me, of course, is our Yoda of the PlayStation team, editor Jeff Haynes. Jeff,
So I give you. I bring you no harm.
Excellent. Across from Jeff, associate editor Ryan Clements.
Hi, everybody.
I like to think of him as General Akbar.
Admiral Akbar?
And making,
Admiral.
whatever. I'm not a big Star Wars nerd.
No, we're going to get email from all the fans
damn it.
now.
Send hate mail, Greg.
There's so much pressure. I'm the host. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't just sit back and make comments. And for the first time on Podcast Beyond, Sam, in-house freelancer for the PlayStation team. How are you, Sam?
What's up? I'm doing good. I'm just going to kick back and make comments.
See, there you go. It's real easy to fall into.
So are you saying he's the wedge of the podcast team right now? Or the bigs?
Sure.
Sure.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Sam, you want to give a little introduction to yourself? You've been writing for us for a little bit now.
Yeah.
What are some of the reviews people have seen you on?
Sparkling reviews.
Mostly horrible stuff. I can't even think of anything that was...
Your favorite Spyro.
Oh, you can think.
Oh, Jesus. I did the Spyro review. Eternal Night.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Yeah.
Yes.
You also did most of the writing for the PlayStation 1 year later feature.
Oh, yeah.
Which
So
one
all
on
those
Friday?
horrible
right.
spelling mistakes and stuff, that's
Was
all
that
me.
really? I didn't edit it
I
too
checked
well.
it this weekend. It was pretty bad. I
Really?
was like, yeah. No, it's just because when you read it, you don't, like you were saying before, like you kind of hear it internally.
There
and
was
you
so
just
much
skip
going
right over
on.
to yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, then
So,
after
no,
this,
it's
let's
my
go
bad.
fix
Sorry,
it.
guys.
All right. We'll fix it after this.
Exactly. So by the time you read this, by the time you hear this, you'll not even see him.
Okay. As always, our next segment, the Roper Report.
Time for Greg's news.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
That was awesome.
Chris Roper not here, so of course I'll have to pick up the pieces
Time for
with
Greg's.
the Roper Report. The biggest news happening on Monday of last week. We're just going to go down the line. Dragon Force, the British extreme power metal band, had its single "Through the Fire and Flames" in Guitar Hero 3. Really not used to reading. It became the number one digital download single. Sales jumped 183% since the release of Guitar Hero 3.
Nice.
That's
Go
because that
Dragon
song's
Force.
hard as hell to play.
Do we think this is going to be incentive? Is this one of these things that they can go do next time for Guitar Hero 4 and say, hey, band that was holding out, you want to do this?
You know what? I think it's possible.
Insert band name
considering
here.
that the
Dido. Look at what just happened to Dragon
God.
Force.
Oh no, but I think it probably will be. I mean, considering that their sales really did have a huge jump, it's a little bit easier for people to go, look, this is exactly what happened to this group. So just imagine if you put out like your latest single here or something else, like easy way of getting sales.
I remember too when the Harmonix guys were first sort of talking about Guitar Hero 2 and all that stuff. They made a comment just like that, where they basically said, okay, after the first game, nobody really wanted to do anything.
Yeah.
We had to like bend over backwards to make sure everybody was taken care of. It was all covered and all that stuff. And then once that came out and it became, the huge explosion that it was, when they started working on GH2 and they were talking to bands about it, they're like, oh, dude, we want to be in on this. So yeah, I think there's a definite.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the other side of it too, is that bands are kind of driving it too, where there's some people that don't even want to get out on stage because they want to play like a song.
Yeah.
So if you have like this huge amount of people also picking up on that too, I'm sure you're going to have a ton of people throwing in for 4.
Hopefully, right?
Or Rocks the 80s 2 or whatever they decide to release.
I know
Again.
Perry Farrell was very excited to be part of SingStar when I last spoke to him. So
Before he screwed you?
yeah, before he screwed me out of that PlayStation 3. Still waiting on my free PS2 I was supposed to get.
Oh yeah, the bundle.
I was supposed to get.
Right,
Yeah, I
that's
couldn't
right.
announce it at the time. I'd won. The second prize was the ceramic white PlayStation 2 with SingStar.
No.
Limited edition.
Limited edition. Have not seen.
Still waiting.
Maybe you need to squeeze
one
it for a
microphone. I should probably. I've been interest. Right. Okay.
PS3. Yeah, exactly.
Our own Damon Hatfield reported about downloadable content wars, talking about DLC and what it means for the industry and what's happening right now. Currently, we're not doing too hot on the PlayStation side. The Xbox 360.
This is news?
Xbox 360 games that have a DLC have sold 129% more than games that didn't. PlayStation 3 games, however, have only sold 16% more. 360 has the most original games across all platforms, but only 12% of those games were original titles. The PS3 charges the most for downloadable content, an average of $197. And there's more facts and figures like that just keep going on. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Once again, that's news. I mean, we already knew that.
Yeah. Well, did you know this? That SingStar track pricing has been announced in Europe.
Yes. Snap, son.
You know that I'm in charge of the Roper Report when we're talking SingStar prices.
This is true.
Individual songs are going to be about a little over $2 as far as with the conversion rate. But that's not American, obviously. Too much?
What
Too
is it?
little?
Too much.
Pounds?
It
Way
seems
too
like
much.
it. Yeah. If you were, it would be 99 pence or 1.49 euros.
Okay.
Yeah, way too much. I mean, considering that you can download a song from iTunes for 99 cents.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you get the
No
video
way.
too. You get
Don't
the video
care.
and
Is
you get
it
the video
worth
in
it,
HD when if they
Don't
have
care,
that available.
considering that you can do that on iTunes for 149. I mean, no.
Well,
not
look
worth
at,
it.
look what the exchange rate will. They may not bring it over at
the same exact
Fix it, Sony. Do it now.
I'm sure it'll be 149 or 99 cents or whatever. But
I'm just saying.
I don't think they're gonna make it $2 or anything like that.
Turning the corner, the Rock Band's song schedule release thing was released. They, however, are charging $1.99 per track or $5.49 for 3 song
Yeah, that's
packs.
retarded.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Jeff? No good?
What, for a rock band?
Yeah, I think that's a decent price structure.
That one actually like seems fine because there's
You're
4
getting so
parts. You're getting
much.
so
What?
much, and you can plug it into your World Band tour, or Band World Tour and
Yeah.
extend the life of the entire game. So if you're paying that and you have a huge amount of extension along with everything else with that career mode, that's relatively cheap for what you can do with that game.
Yeah, I guess so.
As opposed to SingStar, where it's just
You
one
get
song,
one song
karaoke.
and you get the karaoke.
You're not really
that's the
extending
big knock.
anything.
And I think that's the big knock against Guitar Hero as well. Even there, you're just getting the you're getting the guitar part, whereas here you're getting a bunch more. Which
yeah,
is,
guitar, bass, vocals, and drums. So.
I gotta imagine it's technical, putting all that stuff together. I can give them the extra couple bucks, what, right? Just a few cents.
Well, here's what drives me nuts is I feel like some of the pricing structures for online stuff, they stop the
Sanity?
cent at a really odd place. Stop the insanity. Why? No, so it's what, like $5.49 you said for 3 songs?
Yeah.
Why not just make it $4.99? Why not just give it the impulse buy? I guess if it's over $5, then
Well, you figure
you can
too,
buy it all at once instead of adding $5 to your
obviously the
PSN
world
account.
still on the online structure works for the Xbox. So I mean, you look at it there, it's gonna be 160 points or 440
that's a good
points.
point. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. You're like,
All
I don't know. This is free money. I don't know what I'm doing.
Silly. Yeah.
And before you send in with your cards, I do not know what's happening with PlayStation Point cards. Please stop sending us the emails. We will tell you when we know. This week, the Metallica pack comes out, including Ride the Lightning, the Police pack with Roxanne, Queens of the Stone Age, Fortunate Son by CCR. I wouldn't hold out much hope for the Credence. And Jukebox Hero by Foreigner and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Jukebox hero.
Thank you,
I hear that
Ryan.
song so damn much. They
David
just
Bowie
nailed it.
coming a week after that, Black Sabbath after that, and then December 11th, the song you've been waiting for, Buddy Holly by Weezer.
Oh yeah.
Very excited. I can't wait for the Weezer. But what are you going to buy? What are you guys excited for? Ryan, you've said nothing this entire podcast.
I've said tons and tons of
Go
content.
here, Admiral. Talk, damn you.
In general,
Are you buying Rock Band?
yes, I will once I have the money.
I understand. That is tough. what songs are you excited for out of these packs?
I think that my little singing improv right there is
Jukebox
a
Hero?
clear indication. I would buy Jukebox Hero.
Yeah.
I would also buy, I don't know, I like Metallica, so yeah.
All right, cool. Guys,
Maybe.
you excited? We all buying it? I'm buying it.
I already
this
have a
week.
pre-order.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just waiting to pick it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that Rock Band is going to break me. Rock Band and Guitar Hero are going to break
very
me.
expensive.
I'm pulling out my Mass Effect pre-order today to take
Really?
that money and put it towards point cards so I can download more stuff.
That-
I got too many games to play in general.
That's
I don't
pretty
have
big.
time to get into Mass Effect right now. I'll get to it eventually.
Right now, I have a feeling it's going to be Metallica and maybe the Police, but I'm not entirely sure.
Ah,
I
come
think
on.
I'm probably going to go.
Isn't
like,
Roxanne on there?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
right now, Metallica and Sabbath actually.
Oh yeah. All right. Also, this past week, Sony confirms Rumble for PlayStation 1 games on the downloadable once we get our DualShock 3s. This is mainly Japanese based right now, seeing as how they have the controller already and a wide array of games that we never see. But titles like Metal Slug X or 10, depending on what part of the country you're from. Dino Crisis, Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3 will be there. Jeff, you have played quite a bit with the DualShock 3. We got them in the office the other day.
Yep.
I took very blurry pictures of them.
Yes, you did.
When it's on
You're having your own personal earthquake, but
Silent Hill filter.
exactly.
What do you think of it? Are you excited it's there? How's it playing?
You know, I like it. I mean, it's a little bit heavier than the regular 6-axis. It's a little bit bigger too. Not particularly noticeable or clunky to the point where you're going like, oh my god, what the hell did they give us? But you know, it works pretty well. The interesting thing that we were running into, because we only had a little amount of time to just test the controllers themselves, were to see which games actually supported it and which ones didn't within the version 2.0. And it was kind of interesting to see that some of them, like Ratchet and Clank, only had like limited vibration support from the sections that we were playing, versus Uncharted, which had like full vibration support.
Yeah, I was real impressed when
So-
they came in to do the demo. They had DualShock 3, and it was like right away. My unit picked it up and knew what was happening.
You automatically have it, and there are other games that we know of that are coming within the next few weeks that have like full support as well. But some of the earlier ones, and in some ways, like even ones that were released, I guess at the beginning of this year, don't really support it. So it's kind of a hit or miss kind of a situation. You kind of have to pick and choose which games you think are going to have it, and then you have to see whether or not it's actually been supported or if it's been tied in somehow.
All right. I printed this one off, but I don't know why, seeing as how it falls into the sky is blue category. PS3 not doing too hot in Japan. It had a little bit better, sold a little bit more because of Dynasty Warrior 6. We don't know how that's going to hold
And
out.
the price drop.
And the price drop, yeah, the 40 gigs, right?
Sexy, sexy white.
We'll see what happens.
That one's actually doing a little bit better over here too, because they moved almost 200,000 units, I guess, in a week or something.
Are we turning the corner, Jeff? Is this it?
It's the
no.
start.
Is this the moment
It's
we've
start.
waited for?
No.
It's a good start.
It's
I
a
have
start.
a bottle of champagne.
calling
I've
it
been chilling.
Keep it chilled like the 72 Dolphins. But
Okay.
it's one of those things where I think we're starting to turn the corner. It's not like all of a sudden, oh my God, now it's $3.99. We have this brand new ad campaign, and oh God, you have to run out and grab one now. But I have a feeling that it's one of those things that is kind of helping kickstart people either that weren't considering getting it to get it right now, or with some of the games like Uncharted, like Ratchet, to run out and pick it up, especially with like some of the Blu-ray movie deals and some of the other stuff.
Okay. In our news topic that proved God exists and loves Greg, Sierra has announced Ghostbusters is coming out finally. Oh God! I've been waiting for a good Ghostbusters game since the Sega Master System Ghostbusters game. This one will include Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts, and they like to put this in there, Brian Doyle Murray. I like how they just tossed. I mean, yes,
Of course.
He's like, he's the one who evaluated him at the Psych Ward in Ghostbusters 2. But not really your biggest character. But hey, they wanted to announce it, and that's cool. Walter Peck will also return from the EPA. It's set in New York City. It's basically Ghostbusters 3. I'm beyond excited. It's being written by Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd. How's everybody else feeling?
Agreed.
Good.
Agreed.
All right, then. There you have it. You can,
Totally enthusiastic.
Did you see that we announced that early last week, and like the next day, EB had it up there as you could pre-order it that day, and you get free shipping for when it came out.
Oh, really?
I
Like
hope
that's
so.
how, I mean, that game, that shows you how much people are ready for a
dude,
Ghostbusters game.
Seriously, I do think it's going to be awesome. Having the actual talent from the movies
There to
is
write it and then
absolutely
do the voices?
Yeah, I think the fact
Yeah.
that they're writing it, they actually have the technology to make it look just
Awesome.
as cool as the movies
Yeah, have
did
you seen
for
the
us.
videos?
Like,
Yeah, that
It
was
looks
some,
pretty
some
weird.
other
video
Yeah,
game
it looks
website
pretty
said
good.
all the time.
but I think that it was kind of one of those things where, like, because we all grew up with the movies, like, you needed something like a 360 or PS3 to be able to kind of match the visuals you had with the movie. Even if you have, like, a CG, like, character of the Ghostbusters themselves, you really needed something that could match the proton streams or the proton packs.
That's
or
true.
anything
Yeah,
else. Like,
exactly.
you couldn't have like just some
Little
little
line.
line just shooting out. It looked
ugly
really
little
stupid.
segmented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we already dealt with that with like the arcade version
Yeah.
or like the computerized versions. We need something that looks awesome.
Let's also put in our request right now. We're on the PlayStation podcast. We all love PlayStation, but we often buy games elsewhere for achievements and whatnot. I'm telling you right now, I will buy this game. I'll buy it for 360 for the achievements for sure. But I will buy the PS3 version as well if you include Ghostbusters 1 and 2 in there on Blu-ray. They did it with Stranglehold.
That would be
Hard Boiled.
freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Come on, make it worth
That
my
would be
while
awesome.
to do that, especially for like a collector's edition. That'd be awesome. Terminal Reality is doing the next or current gen models. PS2, Wii, and DS are being handled by Red Fly Studios. And our final piece of Roper Report news is that the National Academy of Video Game Testers and Reviewers Corporation is hosting a cruise to Mexico for video games, and it will feature none other than Cloris Leachman. For an audience participation game show that is, quote, hilarious physical activity in a virtual reality experience, end quote. There will be a virtual reality demonstration. There will be a performance by Video Games Live, a video game costume contest, Grandma's playing the Wii, and an appearance by Old Grandma Hardcore.
Yeah, because
Chorus lead.
when I think of video games,
Sunday.
when I think of video games, I really think of Frau Blucher.
You know, I don't know why you gotta be like this. It's a cruise to Mexico.
It's Frau freaking Blucher. I mean, you should have horses like whinnying on the cruise ship.
Jeff, for everything I've just listed, a cruise that's sure to put Carnival out of business. How much would you How much would you pay to go on this cruise?
I think they need to pay me $50 or $5,000. Actually, no, $5,000 would probably be what they'd have to pay me to go on the Cloris Leachman cruise experience.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if Roper hasn't come back by that point, November 14th, 2008, and I am still acting editor-in-chief, I will send you to this for the rock-bottom price of $455. And that's not just an IGN rate, ladies and gentlemen. You can go right now and register, and you will get that as well.
Wait, I too can go for only $455?
Oh, God.
It's not that bad. That is a good deal, folks.
That would be torture on the high seas.
All right, next up, our oldest, newest installment franchise segment, the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
You want to say that tongue twister 3 times fast there, Greg?
Hold on, Ryan's trying to remember his theme song for this.
Oh, no.
There we
Something
go.
like that.
All right,
I forgot what it was last time.
Poor, sad little man.
after last week's gluttony
You've
of
been
games, we're seeing it come down just a little bit. PS3 is going to get Elder Scrolls, The Shivering Isles. We will also get Rock Band, a 9.4 on IGN, and Uncharted, a 9.1 on
I wonder
IGN.
who gave that a 9.1.
Some pompous idiot overrating games. It's me, Uncharted. You should buy it. PlayStation 2 gets 2 Final Fantasy things. Ryan, I'm sure you care about these. What are they?
They're the 11. They're just 11 games, so they're on. They're online.
Wings
stuff.
of the Goddess.
Wait, who?
I played a little bit of that. at
Wings of the
event.
Goddess and the Vanadil collection.
Right, okay.
Godzilla Unleashed, Luxor Pharaoh's Challenge, Fantasy Star Universe, Ambition of the Luminous. Thank you. Ryan wrote up the page, but thank you for doing this, Ryan.
No problem.
Star Trek Conquest, Swashbucklers, Blue vs. Gray,
Which I'm reviewing.
7 Wonders of the Ancient World.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Swat.
Crap-tastic.
You know what that means? Pick of the week.
Pick of the week!
I
Gotta feel
don't know.
like Greg's Paul Schaefer.
What is the... I have a feeling it's going to be a tough pick of the week. We didn't talk about this ahead of time. This is what we do on Beyond. We shoot from the hip. Personally...
Yeah, and obviously we've got such an accurate rating right now.
Yeah, well, personally, I would say Uncharted is my pick of the week. But it's up against Rock Band, which I know is a big deal. Jeff,
Ooh.
what are you doing?
You know what? I'd have to pick Rock Band because I haven't played Uncharted. Like, I've only played, like, a little Uncharted at demo days, and those have been, like, unfinished levels. So I'd pick Rock Band only because I've played tons of that over the past week. So it's easily my pick of the week.
Mr. Sam?
I have played Uncharted, and I would still go with Rock Band.
You son of a bitch.
I know. I suck.
Ryan.
I'm actually going to say Uncharted only because I probably won't be able to play Rock Band for a while because I have to conserve my funds and then, save up and buy it.
That's
so
true.
Uncharted's a little bit easier to snag.
Given a budgetary limit, then it's got to be Uncharted because there's no way in hell I could afford Rock Band. Just,
I realize we poop on Sony all the time in here, and the reason I'm choosing Uncharted...
Why do you poop on Sony?
The reason I'm choosing Uncharted is because I'm buying Rock Band on the 360.
Oh.
See, there you go. That's why it's my pick of the week, just because that's how it is. Plus,
We
I don't
poop
know,
on your choice.
there is, I didn't put it in the news today because, it's breaking news today. I'm sure we'll talk about it next week because that's how this works for some reason. Guitar Hero 3 guitar does not work with Rock Band on the PS3.
Bastards!
So, guess what? You want a second guitar? Buy Rock Band again.
That's right.
Which
There you go.
$170 guitar.
is ridiculous.
Two drum sets at one time.
Yeah, so you can have your
That would be awesome. If they
That's-
supported a way to
that's-
do like 86,000 toms and you
Yeah, that would be a 2-person drum battle with yourself.
So does that affect anybody? Are you buying Rock Band on PS3?
Yeah, because I bought Guitar Hero 3 on PS3, primarily because
So are you pissed off you're screwed now?
yes, I am extremely pissed off. The reason why is because I'm not really like interested in upgrading my 360 hard drive because depending, I don't necessarily play that many games on it anyway.
Yeah.
And so like the fact that I can go to any store, grab a bigger hard drive,
That is nice.
slap it in for cheaper than what I pay for a 360 hard drive, like I'd rather do that knowing that I'm going to buy all the songs for Rock Band anyway. Same thing with like some of the Guitar Hero songs. So
See, I'm running
really
off,
pisses me off.
I'm running off a launch 360, so I'm well aware when I'm gonna come home tomorrow and it's gonna be dead. Like that's why I'm like, I don't care.
You've already jinxed
I'm gonna
yourself.
buy one
Yeah.
anyway.
If there's one game that's gonna do it, it's gonna be.
It's going to be that. It's going to make your 360 explode.
Smoke more. Well, I do have the right now where
Turn it off. Turn it off.
sometimes
Oh
when
my
I turn
God.
it on, it'll just jump to the E064 or 63 or 65 air, and then, but then I gotta restart it, and it's fine.
You're just skirting death on that one.
What are you gonna do? I got it for free, so
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I got
Ryan.
mine for free. They had to replace it.
So what do you think about this no Guitar Hero 3 controller on Rock Band?
I was probably just gonna get Rock Band on 360. So
There you go. All right.
I'm
Good
the
deal.
Well, wait now. So the guitar it is recognized, right?
As a controller.
As a controller.
It recognizes
okay.
it as a controller. This is Hillary did all this at my desk today while I was trying to deal with emails. So I'm not
But
sure.
you know what though? Like because it's recognized as a controller doesn't necessarily mean that they can't patch it.
Yeah,
Well, right,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
idea
yeah.
of patch anyway, right? Because
They probably will patch it, but I mean, like considering that it actually does recognize it, they probably just have some little thing right now that's messing it up.
Yeah.
Which means I'm sure because we alerted them to the issue, they're probably working on it now. And that's probably something that will be updated within the next couple of days. So hopefully, and don't quote me on this, but hopefully they'll be able to fix it so that you have the option, especially if you bought Guitar Hero 3, to just use it because they have absolutely no idea when they're going to be rolling out solo items anyway for it.
correct me if I'm wrong. Is the PS3 version doesn't have an online like? There's something that it's missing as far as like World Tour mode or something like that. I think, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't
Something
know.
where I think they have to patch it anyway.
Yeah, so it could be
They
included in the patch
already
already.
knew
So,
it.
yeah.
The one thing you can say is that, I mean, we deal with people who have franchise all the time. It seems to me, at least, Rock Band is being well taken care of by EA. They seem to be pretty responsive to everything people say or anytime you play it. And up next, our on again, off again topic segment.
What
Toe. What? It's Toe, topic of the week.
Jesus.
See what I did there? Oh, I'm such a good host.
Oh my God.
All right.
Everything has theme songs. Things are getting a break. What the hell is going on?
the hand motions
Don't
made that.
come back.
That was the best part. That's what
Thank
sold
you.
it, though. You got to do the hand.
Toe. All right. Topic of the week is the week of Thanksgiving, Black Friday.
Yes.
All the games are out that are about to be out that people care about and all this other stuff. What do we think? How's Sony going to do this holiday? We've all played a majority. I mean, we've been crazy busy dealing with all these games. Now we can step back and look. Ryan,
Yo,
how is Sony's holiday going to go?
I think it's gonna go better than it's been going recently. I mean, obviously, as Jeff was pointing out to us earlier, there's a lot of good titles that have come out recently, and I'm very excited that Sony is starting to make a nice positive turn. But I don't think it's going to be anything miraculous like we were saying before. But
Yeah.
I think it's generally good. It'll be healthy. It might not be extravagant, I guess you'd say.
Samuel?
Excessive. I'm pretty optimistic. I think
Really?
that yeah. I mean, when the ad campaign kicked off for all the new one that's about 1 trillion times better than the White Room.
Oh,
was,
yeah.
I don't know
it
that
was
baby.
running. Yeah.
We're not
blows
getting
up.
any more red balloon ads sent to you, Deborah.
I know.
No, I mean they were running those commercials. If you watch like Comedy Central or Adult Swim, or
They've been
they were
everywhere.
every single freaking break. So at least the message, if nothing else, is out there, and they're starting to show some pretty cool stuff. So it's a decent ad campaign. They're actually showing a lot of different games, and there is software now this year, which is obviously that was the big issue last.
Do you think it's too little too late?
No, but I think it's right on the cusp.
Yeah,
of,
I
mean,
think
this is
personally,
it. This
I
is
go
make
the
or
other way.
break. This is the year that they need to sort of turn things around, because there is stuff like MGS4, there is stuff like Little Big Planet, there's GT5 Prologue, there's all this stuff that's coming out next year. But if they don't get some traction right now, from this big buying season, then they're screwed.
I have to. Oh, can I interject something
ahead.
real quick? We were talking about a long time ago. We were talking about how every time we see an ad for a game on TV, it would be, it would have the 360 logo at the end, even though it would be a cross-platform game.
Yeah.
I was actually watching a rerun of Conan. And
Prime advertising dollars.
It was still. Come on, Conan's
I'm
awesome.
just giving you a hard time.
Anyway, Call of Duty 4
Yeah.
commercial, sweet, awesome. And I was like, and I bet you, than the 360 logo will come up afterwards. It was the PlayStation logo.
Yeah.
There was no 360
The
logo
Simpsons,
everywhere.
I've seen the Simpsons.
Yeah,
are
they have
branded with
multiple
them.
Simpsons commercials.
The one
Yeah.
that was awesome this weekend was the Uncharted commercial. Because
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
That is so.
if you saw just to watch
Make love to that commercial.
Nathan like running around and just running through, and then all of a sudden like his radio goes off and all the pirates turn and look at him. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
And then he just throws. He's like, "Hey, it's for you!" Throws and just starts capping people.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah,
it's
it's
a mix of like
really, really well
CG
done.
and gameplay, and it's awesome. And that's the stuff that kind of like we've been saying for the past couple podcasts. Those are the commercials that Sony needed to be running a while ago. Yeah. Now they're actually doing it with this ad campaign, and it's one of those things that I'm really pleased that Sony is going basically balls to the wall and coming up with really creative commercials like week after week.
And the
now.
Ratchet one was awesome too.
Yeah,
So
with
that's like
ones that you really want to see, but it also like pumps you up for like the fact that this is only PS3. That's what they needed to do for a while. It's great that they're doing it now, rolling into the holiday season. And kind of like I was saying earlier, I don't think that it's necessarily the immediate thing that's going to lead to a landslide for Sony for this holiday season, but I think this is the turning of the corner. This is the first push that they're making to actually show off, hey, this is why you want this system, even outside of that. And I think that some of the other companies are starting to pick up on it, like I was looking at the paper, and there's a lot of ads, and like there are people that are basically bundling like systems either with Blu-ray sales or like I think Best Buy had one where essentially you paid. Now, obviously, it's an exorbitant price, but you paid basically $2,000. But you got but you got like
sounds reasonable.
No, but the thing is that you got like a
20 gig
40-inch
system.
Well, you got like a 40-inch Bravia, an 80 gig PS3. Like the 5 Blu-ray disc sale that I think they also coupled with 5 in-store, and you got like 1 or 2 games, and you paid like the $2,000 for it.
That's actually not too bad. I mean,
And that's like a multimedia like Uber package, obviously. But it's
Uber
one of those
package.
things that like the TV itself with the specs that they were saying was 2,000.
do you know what it was? Like, was it like XBR3?
Yeah, it was like it was whatever the 40 or 42 inch like
the
XBR.
sexier ones that have like the little glass bezel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, like you're paying for basically the TV, but you're
I want that
getting
TV.
you're getting the system
God.
and everything else thrown in for free. And I think that's one of the things that for the people that have the disposable cash or haven't moved up to the HD like system yet.
Yeah.
That's a pretty decent
That's a
way
nice
of like
package.
moving
Yeah,
in
yeah.
and getting everything without necessarily spending a lot.
I
Or a
still
lot
worry that
more.
it's too late. That's my main thing. I mean, I worry about kids who made the Christmas list already, and now the commercials are there, but still.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but you know what? Like the commercials that advertised that it was $3.99 have already been going. And they've been going for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Plus, if you go into most game stores, like I went into the game store this past weekend to finish up paying off Rock Band.
Nice.
There are a couple of places that are selling like either different configurations of PS3s at different like either used prices or whatever.
Yeah.
So even if it was a kid that wanted a used system, it's probably a little bit more manageable or affordable simply based on the fact that it's now selling baseline at $3.99.
Actually, that's a good point. I mean, I would feel, as a kid, I'd feel kind of retarded if I found out that my system that I got was used. But the fact that you can get 20 giggers out there now for like dirt cheap.
yeah. Mike from Database just did that, and then it died. Awesome.
It came back to life.
Oh,
It came back to life for a while, but he was very hesitant
Feasted on
to.
It's like Johnny
360
5.
near it.
I'm running on reserve battery. I need to go to Circuit Jack. This all leads into the next question, though. Looking at this holiday right now, where Sony is this where you? I mean, the birthday was Saturday. PS3 became 1 year old. Little guy. Is this where you expected them to be? I didn't. Like,
I hope nobody did.
No.
when it came out, I was one of the big naysayers. I'm like, it's too expensive. There's nothing to play. Nobody's gonna buy it right away, and nobody bought it right away except frat boys who wanted to sell it on the internet.
Oh man,
So that was the most frustrating thing.
that
especially-
was beautiful. Watching people buy a crap ton of systems and then have them go for like half of the MSRP was just like, oh.
But I mean, I really thought Sony would turn it around. Like, I thought by this time they would be in the race. You know what I mean? That we wouldn't be talking about you need to get traction now where it's over. I mean, they're gonna go out of this holiday still in third place.
Well, yeah, they are, but I think that it's one of those situations where I don't think anybody would have expected that Nintendo would have had a resurgence the way that they did.
Yeah.
I think everybody thought that Microsoft was already going to be like a solid number 2, just exactly where they were. And I think that the fact that the Wii and the PS3 did this complete and utter flip-flop is probably the biggest thing. I think that the way that the Wii kind of just took off is almost like a viral like setup of just like ease and functionality or whatever else. I mean, and the fact that they were selling it dirt cheap was one of those things that...
The fact that it's still so popular and you can't find it, and there was like 3 good games.
Yeah,
that's
the thing that amazes the hell out of me.
Well, I think it was that, and I think it was kind of like the thing that, back to our childhood again, kind of like that lame thing of getting your parents together in a room, and it's like, you know what, you can embarrass yourself and it doesn't really matter because we're all going to look just as stupid doing it with some peripheral that Nintendo made, and we're all just going to sit around and laugh and talk about it, and who cares? I mean, that's probably the biggest hook.
The fact that they're still where they are, and that strong number 2 for Wii, it just speaks to the different audience they're going to. I mean, imagine, if that was aimed at hardcore gamers and you'd put out no game. I mean, like, my mom doesn't care. She bought a flying game for her husband, and then I sent her Wii Play for her birthday. I mean, she could live off of Wii Sports and still have the system. I mean, she doesn't even know about the update. So why is it blinking blue? Oh.
Right, but I think that's the thing, though. I think that that's it. Is that like you had the Reginator literally walk out and go, we don't care necessarily about having to have the hardcore. We're going to appeal to everybody and get everybody hooked on something else.
Here's our E3 Megaton. It's a scale that you rock pressure on.
Yeah, and it's like we're going to get people hooked on something, and they're going to buy it. And
it's worked beyond belief.
It worked. Well, that gamble worked.
Here's the thing. I wonder two things. One, I wonder if they really were just sticking to their message, and it happened that they lucked out, and the thing really did catch on. I don't know if they were like they had this big secret, and they're like, this is going to be amazing, and you're going to love it, and everybody's going to, I think.
No, that's how they talk in their boardrooms.
Exactly. Welcome to I'm going to eat a baby. Yeah. No. Okay, so that was the first thing. The second thing is there's something really weird about the fact that the Wii is doing really, really well right now, and it creates a completely different high watermark for sales. Like the fact that the Wii is doing so well and the PS3 is not doing as well makes a really weird comparison. The same thing happened with the DS and the PSP. The PSP is actually doing really freaking well.
Yeah.
I think with their last numbers, it was doing better than the lifetime year-to-date stuff for either the GameCube or the Xbox.
The Slim just jumped into Japan too, to the top slot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's
huge.
but because there's this benchmark for like the Wii and the DS just going nuts, it creates a solution that things really screwed up. Not that they aren't for the PS3.
Right.
But
well, I think that part of it though is that it's a crapshoot in a way. I mean, Nintendo rolled the dice. Luckily, they actually made it, and for a while, Sony was just like kind of rolling on the fact that they already were the industry leader.
We're number one, and you're going to stay with us.
They had a huge amount of momentum behind them, and in some ways, they're also like kind of. It was almost like they were picking multiple fights on multiple sides because obviously they were taking on Microsoft and they were taking on Nintendo. Then they have the whole format war with HD DVD. So almost this whole thing, you're sitting there going like, are they pushing the digital front? Are they pushing the game front? Are they pushing like the system war and the system format? And there's only so many balls they can have up in the air before something drops. And obviously, if you have all this technology, all this power, and of course, whenever you come out with something, you have to have people that have time to get used to it, develop it, prepare it, and get things out of it. You're not necessarily going to have that many things that are really going to show off what your system can do. Okay. I think we're probably coming to that point where people are actually getting to the point where they can show off what the PS3 can do, and I'm hoping with 2008, especially with a lot of the things that are coming out, and some of the games that we've seen that have been pushed back to 2008 that are almost feature frame rate, and visually identical on PS3 and 360, that's where Sony actually starts picking up its ground. That's where you start seeing things with like, GTA 4, DMC 3, Mercenaries 2, stuff like that, like these obvious multi-platform games that
don't suffer from
that
horrible
don't suffer
frame rates.
from the same things that we had this year where everybody was like, well, oh my God, there are all these visual problems. There's this, there's that, and it's like, well, people aren't necessarily going to have that anymore.
Do you guys think there's any credence to this whole the thing where the comments that were said recently, where basically development is shifting to the PS3 as the lead platform because it is harder, and then
easier
from
to simplify out.
Exactly.
I've talked
exactly.
Well, actually, we should say this because we have a question related.
Is that okay?
There's
I
a
didn't know if that
question.
was
Someone
up there.
coming
Jumping
in.
ahead. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So we won't jump in. Before we close off, real quick, PlayStation 3's first year. Give me your good, the bad, and the surprising aspects. I'll go first because I just dropped this on you out of the blue. Obviously, my good is Uncharted, which I love and think's an awesome game, and you should all play. Bad would be just the online infrastructure. The fact that I don't have voice chat in every online game automatically, if it's something multiplayer, makes me want to play it elsewhere. And surprising, I thought folding at home was a great idea, and was really, really impressed at how well it's gone off and how everybody's adopted it, too. A lot of people use it.
The good, the bad, and the surprising for all of PlayStation 3
For
this
the
year?
first year.
Okay, I
PlayStation
gotcha.
3. You ready?
Yeah.
Go.
I would say the good is also Uncharted for me.
Okay.
I really liked Resistance when it first came out, too. I was really into that. The bad is the fact that, as you kind of said, the infrastructure, more for me, the lack of downloadable games. Because
it's going to be great if you just say the exact same thing as I did. It's surprising folding at home?
No.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Downloadable games for me, not necessarily voice support, but Super Stardust is still one of my all-time favorite games, and there's been nothing really along those lines for a while. And surprising, I'm surprised, so I don't know. No.
All right.
I think that the good for me is probably the amount of first-party games that were surprisingly rather solid within the first year, layer notwithstanding. I think, but I think if you have stuff like Resistance, Ratchet, Uncharted, even Heavenly Sword, which is a good game. You have all these first-party games coming out of Sony that were really, really good. I think the bad are things like having all of these either exclusive games get shifted to multi-platform games, whereas Sony initially had them locked up, and that was going to be it. You could only find it on PS3. All of a sudden, it's PS3 360 or whatever else, which is a huge missing selling point for Sony. And I think surprising is the fact that some of the promise of the PS3 itself hasn't really been fully taken advantage of. I think no in-game cross-media bar support.
Stole mine.
The fact that the online is still jacked up relatively within either friends lists. The store just looks like crap. Like some of the things that we've constantly griped about.
Poor store.
Poor
there's just a lot of things that they could do that finally with this theme situation with version 2, you're getting a glimpse of, but it's not fully there.
Sam? Real quick.
Yeah, good. I think it was an Insomniac managed to crank out 2 really freaking amazing games within 1 year.
Yeah.
And especially Resistance at launch having 40 players. The multiplayer was awesome. The single player was really good. And then they were able to turn around and do Ratchet as quickly as they did.
Yep.
That just blew me away. And then all the other first party stuff was actually pretty decent this year too. So within the first year they actually had a nice variety of stuff.
Nice.
Bad, same thing as you guys. Basically
Okay.
the online structure. I know that the version 2.0 firmware was supposed to be this holy grail, this amazing thing that there's no possible way they're going to be able to do all this stuff.
On the board's
Exactly. It'll have a game XMB and stuff like that. But I did want some of that. I wanted something that came closer to what Live does. I wanted some sort of universal, even just a couple different features. And we're seeing stuff finally we're getting custom soundtracks. It's in high velocity bowling, which
nice.
By the time you hear this, the review will be up. But
tonight, right?
Get it done, Sonny.
Tonight. But the most surprising thing for me was that they killed backwards compatibility. That was that's a core part of I mean, it was even earlier this year they were saying it's part of the PlayStation DNA, and it is. The fact that they had a system that they put out that had 3 generations of software playable has never been done before. Not in just one thing without an adapter or something like that. So the fact that they killed it really surprised the hell out of me. And it sucks, but hopefully they can actually work on software, BC and get it all working. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Up next, the part where you're the star, reader mail. Male, female. All right. Our first, we're gonna go quick here because some of these are quick hits. Manimal_forever asks, "What's the latest Haze impression? When was the last time everybody played Haze?"
I haven't even played it yet.
I played it in Germany. And my latest impression was that?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't. I mean, you're just playing for a little bit, jumping in around and stuff. It was all right.
They haven't really been showing it that much.
Played it at Leipzig.
There you go.
Leipzig.
So yeah, our impressions, whatever. We'll see. We give it a little more time. Sean9986 says, Uncharted and Ratchet & Clank are probably the bigger exclusive releases for PS3 this year. Which do you prefer? We've all touched a little bit on each one, right? I mean, has anybody played both all the way through?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
There you go. Ooh, let's go right to Sam.
Ratchet.
Why?
Because it's
You liar.
insanely polished.
Yeah,
Just
that's
like
true.
unbelievably polished. Everything that it does really, really well. Uncharted's really good, but it's got some really frustrating balance issues for me. The end of the game.
Don't give it
drove
away.
Me up a wall. No, I'm definitely
Drove you up a wall?
No, that's
The story twist, or
No, I like that stuff.
Okay.
There's actually when the story twist happens, there's a little bit of a change in gameplay where it's more run and gun. I'm not spoiling. I'm not spoiling. All I'm
so
saying,
good. I love it.
all
Oh,
I'm saying
it's
is
so
that
good.
is a little bit run and gun, and it actually works perfectly for when the
man.
plot twist happens.
Oh, it's so good.
So, and I love all that stuff, but like the last level and the final boss fight really kind of drove me.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
All right. I've obviously played Uncharted.
close.
I played Uncharted the wheels off of it, and I like it better than Ratchet, just because I've never been a huge fan of the Ratchet. I was always a bigger Jack fan, so I just connected more with the characters and loved the story more than
The characters are so freaking
Aren't they?
Like seriously,
What
I don't
great
think I've ever
characterization.
met someone who is as likable as Drake.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like he totally feels like a real character. I think they did a hell of a job.
Okay.
So.
Jeff.
I haven't played Uncharted, so I'd have to say Ratchet right now.
You son of a-
Yeah, I haven't had the build yet, but as soon as I get it, I'm going to play the hell out of it.
Ryan, you've heard me play Uncharted.
I tried so desperately to keep the spoilers out of my ears.
You didn't even get the big spoilers.
I know. I'm thankful for that.
and I will
would
tell
just,
them right now.
I would just choose Uncharted only because I did not follow through with Ratchet all the way through, and I don't have that attachment with the characters. So Uncharted's kind of a fresh approach that I probably enjoy more. But I'm sure Ratchet's fantastic
Well,
too.
Uncharted has the wow factor too. That game, I have never seen a game that looks so good.
Yeah.
Uncharted just if you have an HDTV, it's like if you don't have an HDTV and you want a reason to justify your purchase of an HDTV, you can just get Uncharted and you'll be like, oh,
It looks good.
now I'm gonna make love to my TV.
MGS2_solid_snake asks, you guys in talks with any other developers to come on the podcast and answer questions?
Yes.
Yes. Tiger Riot. Here it comes, Jeff. Here it begins. So it begins. Tiger Riot. Why does IGN say Assassin's Creed on the PS3 runs with a worse frame rate than the 360 version, but GameSpot says the PS3 version runs smoother? Did you guys base your impressions off a final retail copy, or is it simply reviewable code? There have been reports circulating that Ubisoft told certain sites that retail PS3 version runs smoother than the reviewables.
Ubisoft didn't tell us anything. I will tell you this much. I played through the entire game. I sunk in about 40 hours, completed every single side quest. The only thing that I didn't do after a while was hunt down all the Templars and collect all the flags, but every other mission that you could take on in cities and everything else, I did. Problem is that, especially within Memory Book, I think 5 to the end or so, you start getting massive amounts of slowdown, especially when you're moving through some of the areas as you're just trying to get to some of these missions that you're taking on. I had multiple instances where the game froze, and it wasn't one of those things where the entire thing was frozen. It was where you'd be in the middle of a leap, Altair would freeze, you could still rotate the camera around him, but the entire game was completely locked up.
Wow.
So
that was actually a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah,
exactly.
And for you idiots on the board that said that I spoiled it, you are jackasses. You're completely wrong. If me saying that there's a Matrix-esque kind of thing, which is already spoiled for you in the first 5 minutes of the game when you boot it up, you're an idiot and you don't understand what a spoiler is. Anyway, the other part of the problem with the game itself is just that, like, frame rate wise, if you compare it to the 360, there are just certain situations where it hitches, some of the edging, some of the screen tearing, some of the other visual issues within the game itself are just not really as sharp as it is on the 360. And just to continue my rant, to follow up on the crap that Gabe from Penny Arcade said, I did get the damn vision of the future thing because I saw it. It looks like crap for one. For two, I don't want Indigo Prophecy and Assassin's Creed. I want Assassin's Creed. And if you're going to throw that crap in, throw it in before the ending where it's just one little quick glimpse. It's not explained. It has absolutely no relevance on the plot. Get it together, figure it out, and if you're going to do stuff like that, throw it in where it actually has some freaking relevance instead of giving me a cliffhanger where I'm going to have to wait another year and a half before I can even see the sequel. Shut the hell up, do your damn comics, and don't even start giving me this crap about what exactly we do as a reviewer. You just write things and do things as a freaking comic artist.
Okay.
Also, this pin is tuxedo
Schmuck.
black.
I don't think you cursed, and I'm very impressed. Thank you for not making me have to do work after this podcast.
I tried. You know what? I had some...
Metaphorically, Jeff just like went up to the readers and just punched them in the face.
We have
I took some Tourette's medication there.
We have one more Assassin's Creed comment that I think needs to be addressed.
Bring
It's
it.
from RNK19. Why do you have Hillary continuously review PS3 games when you know that the majority of the time it leaves a bitter taste in the PS3 owner's mouth? Sheer chaos on the boards. Why not? Stop having a 360 fanboy review PS3 games. Hill doesn't give him a fair shake, so on and so forth.
Honestly, Hill, Dave, and I basically all played it at the same time. I was the first one that beat the game in the office amongst everybody, and that's like, Team Xbox, GameSpy, whoever. Everybody else wound up beating it afterwards. We all wound up talking about it. We all were playing it at different times. We all saw it on different systems. It's not one of those things where this was a conspiracy by Hillary, especially because Hillary did wind up playing it on other systems too. It's not like, oh, he decided to just mark it down. I mean, this is one of those things where we all kind of felt the exact same way, where it was just like, this could have been sharper, this could have been better, this should have been tighter.
The fact is that Hillary's a professional. He is not a 360 fanboy. He owns a PS3.
He actually owned a PS3 before anybody, I think, on our team had a PS3, with the exception of Jeremy Roper, because I think he got it at the same time they did.
I mean, it comes down to the fact that you need to wake up. You're the PlayStation 3 fanboy. The majority of the cross-platform games are, in some aspects, worse on the PlayStation 3. Am I wrong there?
No.
As much as
For
Hillary,
right now,
as
yes.
much as Hillary jokes around, I think he's very professional and very serious about what he writes when it comes
He plays the
down
wheels
to
off
it.
his games.
Yeah.
I mean,
And for right now, it's just an unfortunate truth. Like the PS3
And not to mention-
multi-console system games, they're lacking.
you did the second comment. There was a
Yes.
second comment from a PlayStation editor on the Assassin's Creed review, so you are stupid. I think this is a bit of a jab at me, but who knows? This is from D6661. He asks, when will I start enjoying my PlayStation 3? What's gotten into every PlayStation exclusive owner having a superiority complex when it comes to their console and claiming IGN is selling out to their readers or they're selling out their reviews for ad revenue and gifts? Is PlayStation afraid the console is going to fail? After you buy Uncharted and spend one Saturday playing it and finishing it, do you think it would justify your $60 investment? And it would coincide with the review. After you buy and beat Uncharted, are you going to turn it in and play Haze, or is that going to be another mediocre first-person shooter? Then in parentheses, get some knee pads. I hear they help your knees from getting scratched by the floor. If you're slow, he's insinuating that I think in personal, I'm giving Uncharted fellatio. And the fact is, Uncharted deserves fellatio because it's a very good game.
And there we go.
And I thought I was going to take it somewhere and had to censor myself.
Good night,
Jeez.
folks.
Oh, you can say fellatio.
And good night.
Yes, Uncharted's not that long. You'll go through in about 8 hours, but there's a ton of replay to go back and do. A whole bunch of medals, points to unlock. I mean, as much as we all talk about how awesome it looks and stuff, I mean, there you go. You can pop it in any time. Somebody's like, oh, PS3 sucks. Pop it in. There you go.
Also, it's got a next-gen filter. So.
Yeah, it does have a next-gen filter. Just a big
Brown
middle
and
finger.
blue.
Not to mention, it's awesome to throw that up, too, to every developer who says the PlayStation 3 is so hard to develop on. That game looks awesome. You know what
Well,
I mean?
and they are technically, like, what? First and a half party, second party, so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've had a year to turn. I mean, imagine what
that's
what's
true.
the sequel of Uncharted going to look like
That's actually something
when they
I said-
fix texture pop and everything else.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that what you're going to say?
No, I was going to say that this is a first gen game, or maybe
Exactly, yeah.
maybe second gen. So the stuff we're going to see in like 5 years is going to make our faces melt off.
There you go. Jimmy Pop Jr.
That would suck.
Jimmy
No,
Pop?
it'll be just like that thing in Indiana Jones.
Jimmy
It'll
Pop?
be-
Or
Ark of the Covenant.
Wait, was it Jimmy Pop or
Jimmy
Jiffy
Pop
Pop?
Jr. Jimmy Pop Jr.
Okay.
We kind of just touched on this. We hear a lot of people touting the PlayStation 3 is so much harder to develop for, and that's why I'll never be on par with the 360. What's your experience talking with developers regarding this?
I think that it's one of those things that there are people that understand what they can do with it. I think that part of it is the fact that right now they haven't had a lot of time necessarily to do what they want to do with it. So talking to some people, there was one developer that I talked to, and he was assuring me that their team specifically went to the publisher and said, we are planning on making this exactly the same on 360 and PS3. It will run at the exact same frame rate. There will be absolutely no drop or any division or schism that you can see, and I think that's one of those
sad
things.
that we're at that point though, because technically the
totally
PS3 is supposed to be more competent in doing some stuff, and we're getting to the point now where we're just like, we just need parity. That's all we need.
Where you have,
just like one
you have
thing,
people
just
having to
one-to-one.
make excuses, but I think that's one of those things that so many people have heard so many problems and seen so many issues that I think they now are starting to go, well, we are going to make sure that this
I've talked to
happens.
developers who have told me now that they are switching certain things to the lead platform to be on PS3. So hopefully that'll look better in the end for everybody.
We did bring that up.
Yay!
And
Matrix 2222 says there have been comments that Home will have some sort of trophy like Xbox Live has achievements. What are your thoughts on the importance of trophies in Home as it relates to keeping pace with the competition? P.S. Just got my PS3 last week at $400. Beyond! Can I get a Beyond from Greg, please? Beyond. How important are these trophies? How important are they going to be?
I think it'll be a cool thing. I think that part of the thing that nobody actually knows how they're going to work is, will you actually get points for it? Is it just something that you're showing off? Are they going to be in games that already exist before the pre-trophy structure? Like, are they going to actually backdate or update older games with trophies so that you can actually get some things?
The Darkness has stuff that they put in there.
Right. But I mean, I think that since
Ratchet,
nobody really knows how exactly it's going to be implemented for the PS3,
that's tough
it's
to
still
say.
one of those things it's hard to say. I'd love to see there be a points race where it's almost like escalation, and at some point Microsoft and Sony are going to have to get to the tables and have like salt talks on their achievement points trophy structure so it doesn't get out of control. But hopefully it'll be something that cool where you want to play the PS3 version over the 360
I think it comes down
just
to
for the
how
points.
it shows it off. You know what I mean? As far as how that's going to be related to my gamer tag and how that'll pop up.
How
Is
it
it going to be when I look at
interrupts
my friends list, they have boxes next to their name then with their trophy showing up?
Yeah.
Or do I have to go to click on them and then go into their home?
You have to go into their
and then
Do you have to go to home,
rotate
put
to
in a
their,
code.
Yeah.
It opens up a hydraulic lock door.
And how it'll
That's
fit.
the Wii.
Yeah, and how exactly
Sorry
it'll
about
fit
that.
on
No, it's their fault.
how it'll fit on the cross media bar, so you can automatically like check out how many you got or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder how much effort's going to be put into the trophies themselves too. I think
Exactly.
it's probably going to end up being like a PS2 memory card icon situation where you get like Capcom or Namco or whatever doing like crazy, awesome, super detailed stuff.
Yeah, animated things.
Although the stuff that they're doing for Home, where they're basically making it so that if you use like Maya or any of these other programs that are already used in the development toolchain, you can just dump in assets that you have from the game as your trophy. So maybe it'll be a little bit easier.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Moving on, GTA 3 AVC ASA. GTA 3 A of Casa. Hey guys, just wondering one quick thing. It was announced that Orange Box was delayed. However, it states it was only in Europe. Any news on the North America version? Is it still coming in December? Yes.
December 12th?
Should be.
Yeah, I just got a build actually in that had embargoes for previews and reviews, and you'll all be happy to know Hillary's doing it. So there you go.
The conspiracy talk continues.
Great. Next question. Man, can you tell that we have two good games on this system? 2779 asks, what downloadable content would you like to see for Ratchet and Clank, Future Tools of Destruction, and Uncharted? Jeff, what do you want to see?
Well, I'd love to see either imported guns from older Ratchet and Clank games, like having a sheepinator, having some of just like the classic Ratchet things, even maybe importing just things from like Deadlocked or up your arsenal, just either like achievements or kind of the skill points or skill challenges that you had there. That's probably the biggest thing I think for Uncharted or for Ratchet.
Okay. Same.
I would like to see the multiplayer stuff that was in Deadlocked, but with the kind of depth that they gave Resistance, or even something like Call of Duty 4, where there's a progressive unlocking system where you get more stuff. But other than that, I think I honestly, the weapons that are in there right now are awesome. I think they really took a lot of what was cool about the old ones that you have, like your shotgun gun, you have like your rapid fire stuff. They have all that in there already now. So I just want to see multiplayer, I guess. That would be kind of fun.
I don't think I've played enough of both of them to say what it needs and what it doesn't need, so I'll reserve my judgment for now.
I'd like new missions in Uncharted. Some new stuff. I mean, just throw some
new
together.
stuff to explore. But you know what? One of the biggest gripes that I had about Uncharted was just the ratio of, say, gunplay to exploration to puzzles and stuff, and something that maybe threw a little bit more weight towards the puzzles or the traversal and
that's true.
exploration. I would love it.
Their puzzles are very much there to show off doing stuff and like try to tie you into
They're
Francis.
cool.
They're not
I mean,
hard.
No,
I mean,
no.
It's literally, hey, press the select button. Oh, this is the order of the buttons
That's
I push.
exactly what happens.
Awesome.
He's all, I think I've seen something in the book. And then you open it up and it's like, oh, okay.
Didn't
look.
you just get this and page through it like a little?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, whatever.
That helps.
Hey, IGN reader, bear in mind, what would you like to see as far as downloadable content? Thanks for asking, Greg. I would love a new downloadable cheat from Insomniac that gives unlimited ammo to the Razor Claws, or maybe even include this in the next game. There's just something so therapeutic after all these years of blowing stuff up from a distance with Ratchet that I can get up close and personal and just wail on enemies like a Wolverine. Thank
It's
you.
cool. Those
bear in
are
mind.
that's an awesome weapon, by the way. That is a really
You
cool.
like that
The
one?
Razor Claws? Yeah, because they build up power as you use them more so, and then they get these big old trails on them, and then you are Wolverine.
Final question, and it's a celebrity. Billy Ocean asks,
Caribbean Queen!
Thank you.
my God.
Thank you. Nice.
That was
Man.
amazing, guys.
That's in stereo too. Yeah.
Did Kane and Lynch score any bonus points on their review for running those smoking hot ads on IGN.com for the past few weeks? Billy Ocean, that's retarded. We are nothing but the utmost professionals here. You are a jerk, and you've hurt our feelings.
And it got 5 more poll points.
It was originally going to be a 4. Okay. So next, PlayStation team promos as we start to close out the show. Say goodbye to our readers. Hey, Jeff, what are you working on?
Well, we've got the exclusive Time Crisis 4 review that should be going up today.
Beyond!
Whoa!
We've got
Look out.
College Hoops 2K8 going up for the rest of the shortened holiday week.
Nice.
And, those are the things I'll be working on.
Sam?
I will continue to be your source for horrible, horrible games.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't name anything.
No.
Ryan, what do you have?
You have to wait and see.
Technically, the next thing I'm supposed to review is King of Fighters 11.
Okay.
However,
Still waiting on that.
we're waiting.
Yeah,
it's not out yet. At least I haven't checked this weekend. So
you're
maybe
trying to do Swashbucklers this week too, right?
Yes, and technically coming up, I also have Swashbucklers and the History Channel game, which is across like 4,000 platforms.
man.
So that
Nice.
should be really fun.
Man.
I am doing nothing.
You
Sweet.
suck.
I know. I'm really.
Damn you.
I think I have to try to pick up some reviews that Roper left in his stead. But
Programming note: I will not be here next week on Monday.
oh no.
Oh, nobody cares.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to be here all next week. I trump.
Dude, it's going to be
Suck it. It's going to be the Sam and Greg show.
It's the Sam Greg show.
And we can already tell it's going down.
Yep.
Exactly.
We're just going to be drunk.
That's going to be an interesting
punching
one.
things.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Roper's baby in here.
Yeah, maybe. Although I do want to give a shout out to somebody that we got a message from a few weeks ago and
Jesus?
we didn't even point out. Maybe.
Got a message from Jesus.
Yeah,
run-
I
the
did.
runner?
I'm special. Yeah.
Jason.
runner?
There was a
All
guy
right,
named
very
Omega
nice.
Phoenix that wrote in like a few weeks ago who talked about how he was running in a marathon for
charity.
For
Yeah.
charity, like I think it was muscular dystrophy, and he and all of his friends downloaded not only Beyond but all the IGN podcasts, synced them all up so that whenever a catchphrase like Beyond. Mail call, or scoop or anything else went on, all of them would shout it out at the same time
my
and basically
God.
got
As they were
everybody
running for charity.
IGN educated on what was going on for charity. So
Wow.
for that,
Aw.
you guys get props.
Dude, yeah, that's
you
cool.
and your friends, you definitely get props.
Good job.
For charity and for downloading everything.
Did they give us an address?
No, they didn't give us an address, but maybe
Email some back, 'cause we got
because
plenty of
he
garbage in
hears,
this office.
well, yeah. Since he hears the podcast,
I
he
got
should
so
definitely
many T-shirts I need to get.
write back. Omega Phoenix, you know who you are.
All right. So it brings us to song of the week. However,
How much do we have? Do we have
We've
time?
got time.
Yeah, you're
just
good. I am now the host and acting EIC, so I'm far too respectable to sing. But Ryan Clements is happy to make a fool of himself for your enjoyment.
Happy. Today
So-
is a special day,
It's a
ladies
special
and gentlemen.
one.
It is a special day. And
yes, this is the long podcast.
Spoiler alert, not quite, but sort of, in case you haven't played a certain something, but not really, so don't worry. You don't have to turn it off just yet.
This is the worst spoiler alert I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Something may or may not happen that is related to a game. It may or may not be a game.
Yeah, so I don't think there's really... Oh, and I have to thank DDXIVA on YouTube for providing me with the background music for today.
He's taking this to the next
He's
level.
coming in way too prepared for this.
Sam, if you would be so kind as to put your mic, you can actually
Not a
just take it off.
The song gets its own track now. too.
Just put it right around here.
Not a problem.
It can be. Yeah, let's just be
Oh,
comfortable.
God.
I want you to be comfortable. Are you comfortable?
This is getting even more and more uncomfortable.
Okay,
Getting
now
some
we're getting
feedback.
feedback.
Hot mic, hot mic. This is why I never brought in backup tracks.
Exactly.
If I
Yeah.
brought
Hold
in a
it- hold it
backup,
like that.
Jeff, it was going to be live music.
Yeah, exactly. See, just to make up for the shortened version
Yeah.
of Beyond
ready.
last week.
Yep.
All right, go.
That was a good back. Are we all ready?
Yes.
Are we
Go.
ready to be amazed? This was our podcast. It's finally over. We are through. We're rather pleased with how this one turned out today. Podcast Beyond. We say what we want because we can.
Beyond?
Even though we get a lot of flame for it. But the show is over and we have to move on. There are games to play and reviews to be done. So for us to get our checks, we just have to write what's next for the gamers who still read the text.
You just Beyond people?
This song is Beyonding life.
We're not even angry.
Yes, we are.
Jeff's
We
best.
actually laugh when you write in.
Ha.
Because you sound so much like a 5th grader. I'm so very happy to be a member of a great team.
Beyond?
Even though they harass me a little bit every day. So you may wonder how I can take all of this abuse. It's really quite simple, I just think of the truth. I'm the best looking guy, I have no reason to lie on this team of game journalists.
I think you just tried to Beyond us, man.
Go ahead and tune out. I think I would like to stay right here. Maybe you'll find better news somewhere else. Maybe game trailers.
Wait, don't go anywhere else.
That was a joke. Haha.
Ow.
Fat chance. Anyway, this job is great. I get to play games all day. Look at me still singing when there's games to review. I can't keep Greg waiting or he'll fire me too. We hope you had a good time when you listened to me whine on this podcast Beyond today.
Beyond?
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen,
The Beyonding of everyone.
he has thrown the gauntlet down. I'm speechless.
Good
See,
Lord.
For Jeff, Sam, and Ryan, this is Greg. Thank you. This
I
has
don't
been
know,
Podcast
Imogene
Beyond.
Heap sometime?